Radio News.
Good morning, everybody.
Water. It's essential to life, but it's also something that so many of us here in America take for granted. Imagine how different your life would be without access to clean water in your home.
Right.
What if you had to walk to the nearest creek, stream, lake, or pond to get water? Suddenly, going to work and school wouldn't be an option because you and your children would have to spend your days collecting water. This is the day-to-day reality of most families living in the world's poorest countries. But what if I told you that you can change that reality for just pennies a day? Through our water projects, Food for the Poor is working to meet the need for water in 17 impoverished countries. But it won't happen without you. Incredibly, it only takes $15 to provide a child access to clean water for life. $15. Decades and decades of access to water for a child. Give the life-changing gift of water now. Just text USA Radio to 91999. Text USA Radio, all one word, to 91999.
Police have arrested more than 100 protesters involved in the so-called Freedom Convoy demonstrations in the Canadian capital of Ottawa, which officials said turned violent. The convoy protests began in late January and were initially focused on the Canadian government's vaccine mandate for cross-border truckers. But now it's expanded into a broader movement against public health measures to limit the spread of COVID-19. On Friday, police arrested more than 100 people and have had 21 vehicles towed in Ottawa. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoked the Emergencies Act to allow the government to expand measures to end the protests and pointed out to CNN that some people in the U.S. are funding the protesters. Officials in the U.S. are also concerned about a potential trucker convoy protest ahead of President Biden's State of the Union address on March 1st. According to CNN, you're listening to USA Radio News.
You've heard us talk about the luxurious Giza Dream Sheets from MyPillow. Well, now they're on sale, 60% off as low as $39.99. Lots of other overstock items, and a free copy of Mike Lindell's book, What Are the Odds from Crack Addict to CEO, with any purchase. But you've got to use my promo code USA.
No one's on yet.
MyPillow.com.
You think Patrick's going to call?
Use my promo code USA.
1-800. We will have open lines.
Well, tell him.
We're
told
going
last week.
Yeah, I said last week. We'll have open lines.
Question.
Anyone who... Well,
With
no one's
prices at
listening
the
right
pump
now. So.
continuing to rise by more than 40% over the last 12 months, the Biden administration is now saying
we will have
they're
open.
expected
I'll
to
put
rise
that up.
After the first break,
because of
7:20, right?
Russia's
Yeah, I'll put that in the
potential
comments.
invasion
We're
of
going to have
Ukraine.
open
Speaking on
lines
Newsmax, Senate Minority
after.
Whip Republican
Yeah,
Anybody listening?
says
First.
that President
What?
Joe Biden
You don't know
was
if anybody's
responsible
listening right
for
now,
those
do you?
rising prices.
No one is listening. I can see. I know. I know when people are listening.
Keystone XL pipeline, a project that would allow us to get energy from a friendly neighbor, Canada, and transport it across the United States to make it available to where they need to help fill the gap in the supply out there for the demand that's out there.
Thune said the increase in prices mostly hurts low and middle income families, effectively giving them a $3,500 per year cost increase. From the Washington Bureau of USA Radio News, I'm John Hunt.
It seems there's progress being made on an
About a
Iranian
minute.
nuclear deal.
Talks in Vienna to revive the U.S.-Iranian nuclear deal are nearing their conclusion. Iran's chief nuclear negotiator, Ali Khamenei, said on Wednesday that the parties are closer than ever to reaching a deal. Despite the growing opposition in Washington, a Morning Consult poll released on Wednesday showed that 53% of 2,000 registered voters backed the original JCPOA agreement. From the West Coast USA Radio News Bureau, I'm Lance Pry.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Weekend Review.
Just have that
with
ready.
your host, Joey Driscoll.
I'll,
Stay tuned
after
for news.
Amazing
Middleboro
Grace,
News.
I will
1530 WVBF.
ask
Hey,
you
Joey,
for
what's
your
happening?
what you want to say. 19 years ago today, in a little club where literally everybody knew your name, heaven gained 100 angels. The station nightclub was the spot, and it was the show of a lifetime to many who were there. You could hear the excitement in the voices of the crowd as Great White began to play, but how quickly those yells of joy turned into screams of pain. Brothers and sisters, sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, gone in a matter of minutes. When pyrotechnics were set off during the opening number, the sparks unexpectedly ignited foam used for soundproofing the ceiling of the club. Those flames spread quickly, engulfing the club, and claiming the lives of many of those trying to escape. Between the mix of the toxic smoke, the mass rush for the main exit, and the heat from the flames, 100 people died and 230 people were hurt. 132 patrons escaped physically unharmed, but were emotionally crippled for the rest of their lives. This fire was the fourth deadliest fire at a nightclub in United States history. New codes have since been put in place to try to prevent a terrible accident like this from happening again. Sprinkler system requirements have tightened, and additional exit requirements for clubs also have been changed since this tragedy. We will never know the true magnitude of the loss of those lives. Many who perished could have gone on to do significant things or make great changes in the world. That will never be known. But what we do know is that tonight we hug our loved ones a little longer. We stop and smell the roses instead of just passing them by. We cherish the lives we have in memory of the lives we lost.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. We've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.
Beautiful rendition of Amazing Grace as we remember the lives lost 19 years ago today, February 20th, 2003, in the station nightclub fire. And I want to say good morning to Don. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Joey.
Don, what did you think about the poem and the amazing rendition of Amazing Grace?
I think it's touching. It's beautiful. Talked to a lot of people, you know, my father and whatnot, and you ask them where they were during certain events, like JFK's assassination. They remember where they were, you know, 9/11. I remember where I was. And I think a lot of people remember the timeline around the station nightclub fire. I can remember listening to a radio station giving away tickets, working late. And it's just, a lot of people found out about the station nightclub fire the next morning because the fire broke out around 11 o'clock in the evening. So it's just a tragic situation, and I mean, I know everyone, I do, every time I go into like a club or something, I always looking for the fire exits. I'm always thinking that. It's in people's subconscious, so they'll always be in their psyche. So I know the memorial will probably be filled with loved ones today. They have a beautiful memorial in West Warwick, Rhode Island. It was dedicated in 2017. I've been there too a few times, and what I've noticed, and the park's relatively new, and it might just be a forming of the stone, but it's like the stone's running, meaning it's bleeding. To me, I think the park is crying or bleeding because it's a newer motor park. It's 5-6 years old. 2017, so what's that? 5 years. So it's hallowed ground, and it's something to see. If you've never been to the Station Nightclub Memorial, please go. Take a walk by. They did such a beautiful job, the organizers and everybody who put that together. And I know there'd be a lot of family members today, and my heart goes out to every single one of them.
It is a beautiful memorial, and anyone who has a chance to go down to West Warwick, definitely go to the memorial. It's a beautiful memorial, and yeah, absolutely, 100%. I agree with everything you said. And again, we remember the lives lost 19 years ago. 19 years ago today, February 20th in 2003. All right, it's 7:15 a.m. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to talk a little bit about, Don has a few things that he wants to say, a little debrief from last week's show. So we're going to do that. We are also going to open up the phone lines as well. I know a couple people wanted to call in last week, and we're going to do that. We're going to open up phone lines, and when we come back here on Middleboro Review on 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. Today is February 20th, 2022. We'll be right back.
Debrief, that was a good
Debrief, yeah.
I like that.
Well, that's the word.
Yeah,
technically, and that's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because this is pertaining to last week's show.
Yeah.
No, it's a debrief.
Yeah.
All right.
Distant signal.
Distant signal.
Danny Harmon.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby.
Yeah, that rendition was nice.
It was very nice.
Chris found that for us. That was nice. That's good because I think he might have listened to last year and knew that was a good segue. And welcome home. We have members from nearly glad he was able to find that for us. And living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat. Perfect timing. It's good commercial after that. You know what I mean? Because now you up your level a bit, get the show going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we wanted to do that.
You can't go from that.
Yeah, we can't.
Hey, everybody. You know, that was perfect.
Yeah, we can't.
So
just go from that. Just do the commercials.
Yeah, get the ad.
Come back.
Quarter past. You know what I mean?
Come back and do it. Well, I'll take the second break at 7:40. Like usual.
This is Martha Clopen, your host for Medicare Moment with Martha. Each week, we present the latest information on health, legal, and lifestyle issues.
So yesterday was National Tug of War Week day, huh?
Yeah, it was National Tug of War Day.
Where does he get all that?
I don't know. I don't know, but I guess tug of war used to be an Olympic sport.
Really?
Yeah, in Athens they had it. Or it was in Paris. In 1900. The 1900 Olympics, that's one of the sports that they had. Tug of war.
Very interesting. Massachusetts offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They're a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies.
718.
508-583-1495. They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508-583-1495.
Hi, this is Jim Locken. Hope you can join me every Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock here on WVBF, the sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music.
Now, what time is Jay supposed to get in?
I don't know. I mean, he's supposed to get in this morning, and they don't let him off the boat. He's talking 6 o'clock or whatnot. I don't know, not late, yeah. I don't know. I might have to try to see him tomorrow. I'm not sure. I might be bugged out. I want to go.
Yeah?
I want to go to the Standish and pick up some food for everyone tonight.
Okay.
See if Grandpa likes the Standish. I wasn't too impressed with that other place we went to the other night, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Alright, I got a few seconds here. Up here.
Well, do your weather first.
Yeah, I'm into the weather. And welcome back. We are back. It is 7:20 on the dot. It just turned 7:20 a.m. here, and let's do the weather. We got a lot of weather going on. 16 degrees in Middleboro. It is sunny outside currently, which is nice. So it's going to be 34 today, which is nice. Tomorrow we're back to the warm weather. 52 degrees outside, 29 for the low. So next couple of days after today is going to be nice and warm. On Friday we might have a chance of mix. And on Tuesday, we might have a chance of rain. That is the chances for precipitation this week. But it looks like a pretty good week this upcoming week in Middleboro. Taunton, 16 degrees, and same weather for the week. In Driscoll, Texas, 52 degrees currently, 74 for the high today, so pretty nice. 87 tomorrow. So that is awesome. And 93 on Tuesday. So they're back to the 90s, which that's interesting that they're having 90-degree weather in February in Driscoll, Texas. Driscoll, North Dakota, 32 degrees currently, 37 for the high today, and a low of -10. So the temperatures are still extremely cold. Tomorrow, a high of only -8 with a low of -15. So the cold weather is still very much in Driscoll, North Dakota. All right, 7:21 a.m. Let's talk to Don. So, Don, how are you this morning?
Not bad. Good morning, Joey. How are you?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. So you wanted to have a little debrief from last week's show.
Like more of a discussion.
Or a discussion. A
Back and
debrief,
forth, yeah.
Discussion, yes.
It is Middleboro with Joey Driscoll.
It is, yes.
Not John Driscoll. So I don't want to get on a tangent and just keep going.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, you got the power of shutting my mic off at any time. Yeah. Okay, so we had Danny Harmon called last week.
Yes.
From Distant Single Productions.
Yeah.
This is the third time he called in, and he does a lot of railroad videos up down in Florida, and especially in the Tampa area. And he's really artistic about how he does it. He's actually a producer for some TV station in Tampa area, I believe. He never told me when, I didn't really ask. but he's totally professional made videos, and his homework of the equipment, the routes, the narration, everything. It's a perfect product, and that's what got me into watching him. I've been watching him for about 4 or 5 years now. He's put over 250 videos. It's very impressive. He said to me, and he told our audience a year ago, last week or whatever, when he first called, that during the pandemic, his YouTube channels exploded with viewership, people watching them because everyone was locked down. They needed something to do, and a lot of people who normally wouldn't watch train videos, because, you have to like trains to watch train videos, right? He says so many people just got into it because of how he explained everything, how he put everything in perspective, how he talked about the equipment. I mean, the man does his homework. Incredible. And he took the time to call us, and his time's valuable, and he called. And, I mean, it's just a win-win for us, a win-win for him calling in on the show, and I want to thank him, and I appreciate it. But we were talking about Brightline. It's a new private rail train. It's running now. It has been since 2018 from Miami to West Palm Beach. It's like 80 miles or 70 miles, somewhere around there. And it runs on the Florida East Coast Railroad on that alignment. And what they're doing is they're expanding it all the way up the East Coast to Cocoa Beach, and then they're making their own right-of-way to Orlando International Airport where the station is built. And it's a privately owned railroad. And what I was trying to say when we ran out of time is once people start riding that and getting into a situation where it's perfect timing, it's just perfect timing as far as the scheduling. Trains are clean, the facilities are clean, everything is clean, and everything's perfect with that railroad. People, I got to look at the railroads are around now, and they got to demand better from the commuter rail. They get more from the T, more from any of the nation's commuter rails.
Yeah, I think they'll do it more than they are now. They're definitely demanding it now, but they see, like you said, improvements in other areas of the nation. They're definitely going to demand it more.
Well, bathrooms too. I mean, to go back to South Station, the bathrooms in South Station are filthy.
Yeah,
they're disgusting, and I don't know why they don't. I mean, this is our capital city. It's the end of the line for the Cellar and all the commuter trains and whatnot. And you go into the bathroom in South Station, and it's disgusting. It's good, people want to be comfortable. They want to go to a bathroom that's clean. They want to be comfortable. If they're not comfortable, they're not gonna ride the transportation networks. If you go somewhere and the bathroom is disgusting and littered with graffiti and dirty, and you go to wash your hands, there's no soap to wash your hands. How's that going to bring people in? How's that going to bring ridership to your product? Guaranteed, Brightline railroad stations, I bet their bathrooms are going to be immaculate. Immaculate. The stations are going to be clean. There's going to be food. There's going to be retail shops. There's going to be everything you want, because South Station has that. But because of the pandemic, they closed a lot of the restaurants. I understand that. But the bathrooms are disgusting. They are absolutely disgusting. And in North Station, a little dirty, but small. So now you got a men's room in North Station that's supposed to cover the whole station. And they have what? 1 stall and 2 urinals and 2 sinks
and
for the whole thing?
And South Station could absolutely use a beautification project. That station, when you walk in, it's a little messy in there. Yeah, and It could use some beautification.
Well, they're
Sure.
doing a
South
bunch of
Station.
work there now. They're enclosing it. I think they got to build a high rise on top of it or whatnot. But I think there should be more police presence there too.
Yes.
Maybe have a representative of all the law enforcement in Massachusetts. Have a Boston police officer there. Have a Massachusetts state trooper there. Have a MBTA police officer there. Have a Suffolk County sheriff.
That's what I noticed.
Have a federal you just
It's what I noticed the last time we went to South Station, is there's really no police presence. Maybe a couple of police officers.
They
but
roam.
They're definitely not. It's definitely not enough.
When I worked at a hotel in Boston, major hotel in Boston, we had a security officer on the second floor of this area all the time. You know, you always had to have a security officer on the second floor watching the mezzanine, watching all the restaurants, watching the front door, and it was effective. But there's always was a security officer there during times when everything's open. So from 7 a.m., from 5:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m. when everything closed, there was a security officer on the second floor watching all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Always. There was never not unless that security officer had to get dispatched to emergency, and he dealt with emergency and came right back. I think police visuals in South Station is ideal.
Yes.
Okay.
Any major train station.
Yeah, and it's just clean and graffiti too. It's out of control.
Yes.
It's out of control. I think we pay billions of dollars for our infrastructure. We want it to look like we want graffiti all over it.
The entire area, that's a problem. Graffiti is a huge problem in the city.
Yeah.
Of Boston. Yeah.
Right. I mean, pay all this money. So I mean, you have investors who are putting money into the Brightline. They gotta expect some. They're putting capital up, and they expect some money back.
And there's a pretty important people who are a part of this Brightline project.
Right. But the public, we're the investors in all the capital projects.
Yes.
We're in a way you got to sell it to us. You have to sell us. You have to make everything clean. And once you do that, and people are comfortable, open up some bathrooms, some clean bathroom. Put a bathroom attendant in there, and have them have a tip jar or something like that, and it'll keep it clean. We went to that show in New York, remember?
Yes.
And they had a bathroom attendant there. It was clean. It was a small little bathroom in this little club, but it was clean. People are I swear to God, if somebody's in there, people are going to be more respectful to the bathroom than they normally would be if they're not being watched. I'm not saying they're watching them. I mean, whatever. Everyone at the sink area hands you a towel, you want candy, you throw $1 in, throw $1 or 50 cents in his tip jar. Thank you. He's cleaning. He's telling you what stall to go to. If there's a problem, he's right there, or she or whoever would work. Well, obviously have to be a man if it's in the men's room, but. Mm-hmm. That was ideal. That was one of the cleanest bathrooms I've ever seen, and that was ideal. And the guy getting his, where was he getting paid, and then a little tip money. I'm not sure if that's legal, like and working for the MBTA or the Amtrak or whatever. They probably have to get paid, but that's ideal. People want comfortable surroundings. They want bathrooms. They want clean bathrooms. We're in a pandemic, and we're dealing with dirty bathrooms in South Station. The whole idea of the pandemic and fighting the pandemic is clean. Remember the beginning of the pandemic? Everyone's cleaning. Every time you turned around, someone was cleaning something. How can you accept a bathroom that looks like... I was there, a month ago. It was like... They have like 10, 12 stalls, 15 stalls, 4 are out of service. There's people living in the stalls, setting up camp. So, I don't know. It's just... you need a better product. You better build a better mousetrap, people will come.
And even that, having 11 stalls available for a station that has over thousands of people that come there every single day, definitely over a couple thousand that come there every single day, is unacceptable.
Airport bathrooms are clean.
Yeah.
They should be like airport bathrooms.
Exactly.
I don't think I've ever seen a bad airport bathroom. They're always clean.
Yeah.
They're always clean. They're on top of it. They're maintained. If a sink's out of service, you always get your soap. You don't run out of paper towels. Or the blow dryers. The blowers, hand blowers work or whatever. That's what you want. That's what you're gonna bring people back on the rails. Things need to be clean. Things can't look abandoned and crappy. All right, graffiti and all that stuff. They gotta stay on top of that.
They do.
They got all this infrastructure money. Hire some more cops. So
Okay. So thank you, Don, for that discussion. That was a very important discussion because it needs to be talked about because there is some improvements that need to be done.
Well, when Brightline gets up and running, we'll see. It's a private entity. It's private.
Yeah.
Obviously, everything is going to be because you expect the best when you go into a situation like that.
Absolutely.
If the bathrooms are dirty, you'd be like, the bathrooms are dirty. That wasn't good. But if the bathrooms are dirty in a public situation, who are you going to complain to?
Yeah.
There's no one to complain to. But technically, the taxpayers are the people who regulate it all the people who investors. Taxpayers are the investors. They might as well be the investors.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't get what you're supposed to get. It should be almost on the same level.
Okay, so we're doing our sports segment now. And we're at the end of February, which means playoffs are going to start for high school basketball, things like hockey. Hockey is one of them, high school hockey. I don't have which teams are going to be in playoffs yet. I'm sure to have that for next week. But I know that playoffs are starting for the winter high school sports season, the athletics season for high schools. And we'll be talking about that coming up next week for sure. I think that's going to be interesting to look at. But this week is a big weekend, mostly in motorsports. But let's start off with the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins picked up a overtime victory over the Ottawa Senators, 3-2. They moved to 28-17-4 on the season. Big win for the Bruins. They've been getting some very good wins. They've kept themselves in it, even though that they've had some injuries and a couple of and a suspension from the team as well. Someone who got suspended on the team as well, and so they're missing some players, but the Boston Bruins have held their own. And another big win last night. In the Winter Olympics, the Norwegian Olympic team is going to be cruising to a victory. I don't think that is any question now. They are 4 ahead when it comes to gold medals against Germany. Unless Germany has a big last day, which is probably not going to happen. I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, but it may not happen. If barring anything surprising from Germany today, which is today's the last day of the Olympics, Norway will win the Winter Olympics, the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. And China will finish 3rd. Germany will finish 2nd. The United States could get up to 3rd on this last day of competition if they have a really good day. And currently Sweden is 5th as well, tied with the United States when it comes to gold medals. And so is the Netherlands. They're 6th, tied in gold medals with 8 altogether. Between those three, all of them have 8. And China has 9. So we'll see who finishes up in the top 3. Right now, China's in the top 3. They'll probably finish there. But you never know. The United States could come in and steal the 3rd place spot. But I think the 1st and 2nd place spots are pretty much locked up. for this Olympics. In motorsports, in NASCAR, yesterday was the NASCAR Xfinity Series, which is one step lower from the Cup Series. The Daytona 500 is this afternoon, 2:30. That is going to be a big race tonight, or this afternoon. In the Xfinity Series, Austin Hill picking up a victory yesterday. A huge win for him. So that is awesome to hear that he won. He is a very good race car driver for the Xfinity Series. In the Truck Series, Zane Smith won a thriller on Friday. A last couple of laps crash, which caused a red flag. And then a restart, a green-white checkered restart, means Zane Smith wins. Zane Smith won the race. The Next Era Energy 250 was the race at Daytona for the Truck Series. And today, the Daytona 500, Kyle Larson will start on the pole, and he is the man to beat. He was a champion last year. We'll see if he can win the race today, the Daytona 500. And there are some race car drivers who are looking to win their second, third, or fourth, or even fifth, I think, Daytona 500. I think there's one race car driver who has won 4 Daytona 500s that is going to be in the field today. So that is going to be interesting to watch. So that is your sports update. When we come back, we're going to talk about blood drives. We're going to talk also about the election coming up. We're just going to mention when the election is, the times you can go and vote, and polling locations as well. So we'll do that when we come back here on Middleboro in Review for the February 20th edition here on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We'll be right back, everybody.
Right on the money on the commercials, Joey. Perfect. Did I go over too long?
No.
No?
Don't worry.
I had a little lost for words there, so I'm trying to articulate. But
Yeah, do not worry about that.
They sound all right?
Yeah, you're fine.
I guess Bill's on board. He was texting me. Oh, that's how you just called, but they got him a ringer up.
Okay.
He must have got the. He must have got the thing I sent him on this. He must be listening on the smartphone. That's good.
If you are sick with COVID-19, or
All
think
right.
you might have it,
Elections.
stay home except to get medical care. Monitor your symptoms. If your symptoms get worse,
Election
contact
information.
your doctor. Get rest and stay hydrated. Avoid public transportation, ride sharing, or taxis. And take these 6 steps to protect others. Wear a mask over your mouth and nose if you must be around other people. Cover your mouth and nose with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Clean your hands often with soap and water, or use hand sanitizer, especially after coughing or sneezing. As much as possible, stay in a separate room and away from others in your home. Avoid sharing personal household items such as dishes, utensils, towels, or bedding. Wash these items thoroughly after using them. And clean all surfaces that are touched often, like counters and doorknobs, every day. To learn more, visit cdc.gov.
Okay. 163. Oh, come on. There we go. Perfect.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level of the parish hall on Oak Street, directly across the street from Sacred Heart Church in downtown Middleboro. At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our service area, and many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency
That doesn't
referrals,
happen.
clothing and furniture vouchers.
What are you gonna talk about when you come back?
Elections. There's an election on March 5th, and then there's this annual town election. I'm just going to mention
Anything we can discuss?
the dates, the times, and where to vote. Basically, I'm not going to go too far into it. I'm just. There's still time.
And we can have a discussion about something?
Yeah, we can have a discussion about something. Whatever you want to.
Well, you can.
Have a discussion.
You come up with it.
Okay.
Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter,
Maybe speeding.
and guidance.
Honestly, I've seen a couple people speed, and it's crazy. I've seen people on the roads lately who've just been, I don't know.
Maybe we should talk about giving, charities, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's start with the food pantry. Maybe talk about the food pantry.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
And as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association,
And I gotta wish.
you can join or
You gotta wish David Hogan for happy
During
birthday.
during the birthdays. How old is he?
52.
What year?
70.
70. Okay. Got it.
During the birthdays, yeah.
What's it? Dave. I'm just gonna say Dave Hogan.
Yeah, Dave Hogan.
I'll just say Dave Hogan. I won't say David Hogan or anything.
You can say David, that's his name, but Dave.
I'll just say Dave.
Yeah.
Did you text him? Is he gonna be listening?
No, I don't know. I don't even know if he's listening, but whatever. They listen
Text
on,
him and tell him to listen in.
No, they listen on Facebook later. You know what I mean? A lot of people, when they get out, they listen on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. Get the back up here.
I want to say something when you come in about the intro.
Okay. 3, 2, and 1. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. And Don, you wanted to say something?
I love your intro.
Thank you.
Tony found that for you, all right?
Yes, it's a great intro.
But you know, I think the best intro on all the shows is Middleboro Matters.
Yes, it is a great intro.
That is
Absolutely.
like, they got the slide guitar, they got the acoustic guitar. That's a great intro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hope they keep it. I mean, they obviously all these little commercial intros they own.
Mm-hmm.
They buy them, I guess, and Chris has a whole hodgepodge of intros he can use when he does his commercials and whatnot. And he found the coolest one for your ad for your show. So
yeah, it's really good.
yeah,
So.
it's just
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony, for doing my intro. If you're listening,
the intro and the segue into it. You know.
yeah, it's great. Yeah, and and the segue, Chris came up with that as well, and my promo as well. Chris is the voice of my promo, which is a great promo.
That was an honor to have.
Which
him
is
do
a really
that
good
for you.
promo. So
When
it
he
was
did
a
that,
great.
He must have made you feel good because he's the voice. He's the voice of WVBF.
Yep.
And that's good to have something like that. You just got the little things you think about sometimes, and you're just like, yeah, it makes you feel good.
Okay, elections. We have one coming up in Middleboro, and it is to vote on the Bristol Plymouth Regional Vocational Technical School project. That will be coming up March 5th, Saturday, March 5th. We'll be voting 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So that is coming up. That is a special district election. There will be some other towns, of course, and also the city of Taunton will be voting in this election as well. So it's going to be an important election for this area. The Bristol Plymouth Regional Vocational Technical School project, March 5th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. But there is also, in Middleboro, an annual town election, which will be Saturday, April 2nd. Polling hours for that one, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And the precincts, here And this is an important notice here. Please note that all voters will vote at their usual polling place for the upcoming special district election of March 5th. So that's something that I wanted to say because that's an important notice. Just to let everybody know who's going to vote, that they're going to be voting in your usual polling place. And we have a phone call. And good morning, you're on WVBF. Hey, Johnny Ray, how are you?
Yes, they absolutely are filthy. Right.
You know, it all boils down to the top dog in the office because they have the say in every single department in any city, regardless of the size.
I'm not sure who owns South Station. I'm not sure if it's a federal thing or a state thing. I mean, I know
That's a good point, too.
I know that South Station, they have Amtrak police, and then they have the MBTA police, and they also have private security. And they roam around, but I just think more people would take public transportation if the infrastructure was clean. If not, they're just going to take their vehicles and be comfortable because if someone needs to use the restroom, they can just pull over and go to any place and get a clean restroom. People know where the clean restrooms are when you drive around. I mean, you can find them.
I agree.
But I mean, if you're stuck on a train, and last train trip I took, the bathrooms were out. So that I took a this.
What do you mean out?
They were out. They were out of service, and it was a train ride from North Station to Haverhill. It's like one of the longest train lines, in the whole system.
Right.
But they weren't really doing anything about it. I think they kept that train in service. And I asked them. I said, "Zane, we got to fix it." I don't know. When it comes out of service, maybe tonight, and maybe have 2 bathrooms on a train. I don't know. People want to be comfortable, and then we got delayed. It was a freight train that delayed us, so we were extra 45 minutes heading in. But I mean, you got a lot of older people who need to use the restroom often. People have prostate problems or whatnot, and that's a serious thing. And that drive them off the train. If they want to take the train in to do something, they want to be comfortable. So, and if they need to pull over, yes.
Don, you just brought back another issue that I find fascinating. Joey and Don, do you know of any businesses around the greater Taunton area who are finding it difficult to keep things in stock?
I don't know. I think they're doing fine. I mean, people are doing the best they can. I mean, we still got the supply chain, but I mean, I'm not really reading into it too much because that seems to be I don't know. It seems to be a talking point for somebody out there, a mouthpiece for somebody else out there. I think they're doing the best they can, but I mean, everyone can jump on the bandwagon. There's not enough stock, there's not enough that, but I mean, you just got to look around. I mean, we're not starving. We're not. It's not up to snuff.
That's a good thing because I still love that city and I still love you guys. And but there was a point that was made here this week by one of our callers. The supply chain has been broken down around the world and around nationally, right? You still get some cargo ships out at sea who still have product that was on there for months.
Right.
But my question is, since my former governor, Gina Raimondo, is the Commerce Secretary, where in the world has she been in all this?
I don't know. I mean, to be fair to everybody, John, I think everyone got a bad card. You know what I mean? I'm not at the point where I want to stop pointing fingers because everyone got dealt a bad card with this pandemic, and all we can do is just wish the best for everybody.
I get it, Don, but here's what you need to understand: COVID-19 did not shut down businesses.
Right.
It was the governors. It was the mayors.
Right.
That's who shut them down.
Right.
Not COVID-19.
Yeah.
So, this whole thing has been proven to be a farce. But my contention is,
we here in Woonsocket are kind of feeling a small pinch by some of our small businesses not being able to stock certain things. And I was wondering if that was the same thing for Taunton.
I really don't know. I mean, I think so.
Okay.
I have a friend who works at a supermarket, so they have it. But I mean, I know like there's certain supermarkets are doing better than others. So I think, it's really, I think a lot of it too is the management. Because if you're a good manager, you'll, believe me, if you have a good product, you will make it work. I mean, if you don't have sausage sandwiches, you'll doll up that bologna sandwich and make it just as good and make it happy, right? If we have to eat bologna, did we get through this? We'll doll it up so it looks good. That's all you can do, and a good manager can do that.
Like a gourmet meal, so don't knock it.
That's what I'm saying. It's the presentation.
I don't want to keep it long, but I just want to let you know.
Yeah.
That I called because your streaming is back on.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. All right. Good.
And I was listening to you guys since you signed on this morning, so congrats on that.
Oh, what's that? What streaming service do you want? Streaming?
I think he's talking about TuneIn.
Yeah.
Was it TuneIn Radio?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for the longest time, I couldn't listen to you guys on Tyler or anyone else.
Well, actually, Joey.
And I can do it again.
You gotta talk to Professor Joey because he's got like 8 other streaming services on my phone.
Yeah, I actually noticed that TuneIn was back on a few days ago, so I'm glad that it is.
Yeah, Professor Joey will hook you up with some more streaming services because he always hooks me up.
Well, listen, I gotta let you go before I get kicked off the air again.
Okay, I'll see you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Happy Sunday.
Okay, that was Johnny. And I want to finish off the polling places information here. Precinct 1 for Middleboro is the Oak Point Clubhouse, which is 202 Oak Point Drive in Middleboro. Precincts 2, 4, and 6, Middleboro High School, 71 East Grove Street in Middleboro. Precinct 3, South Middleboro Fire Station, 566 Wareham Street. And Precinct 5, Council on Aging, 558 Plymouth Street, Middleboro. And also there are changes to precincts and polling locations that will not become effective until the annual town election to be held on April 2nd. Notice of the changes will be sent out to all households prior to the annual election. Precinct 1, Oak Point Clubhouse, 202 Oak Point Drive. Precincts 2, 4, and 6, Middleboro High School, 71 East Grove Street. Precinct 3, South Middleboro Fire Station, 566 Wareham Street. Precinct 5, Council on Aging, 558 Plymouth Street. And Precinct 7, John T. Nichols Jr. Middle School, 112 Tiger Drive. So those are the polling locations for the special election on March 5th and also the election coming up in April, the town election in April.
I think the Precinct 2 people are probably got to come out in droves to see the new high school.
Yes, absolutely. And again, it's going to be extremely important to vote on this upcoming election, the special election for BP. There are quite a few kids that go to BP who are from Middleboro, so it's very important to go and vote if you can.
I think the coolest thing too is to vote out of a fire station.
Yeah,
you don't hear too much of that. I'm not sure how many towns do that.
I don't know either.
South Middleboro, that's down on Route 28. It's the fire station. They have one piece of equipment there, I believe, and to go vote at a fire station. I wonder where they put it, like in the fire station itself, and they park the fire truck outside on the side for the day.
I just want to say, Jim Larkin is tuning in on the Facebook. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Jim. How
Good
you
morning,
doing?
Jim.
Oh boy,
he's tuning in on the Facebook this morning. 7:57. We are going to do the Today in Histories. We have 2 today.
And birthdays.
And birthdays. We have a special one.
We have a special one.
We have a special one.
We have a special friend.
We have a special one. 1792, the Postal Service Act, establishing the United States Post Office Department is signed by the United States President George Washington. 1962, the Mercury program. While aboard Friendship 7, John Glenn becomes the first American to orbit the Earth, making 3 orbits in 4 hours and 55 minutes. Birthdays on this day today. Turning 100, he would have turned 101. Buddy Rogers, American wrestler, the famous American wrestler, Buddy Rogers. 1967, Kurt Cobain, the American singer-songwriter for the band Nirvana, also their guitarist as well. 1988, Rihanna Barbadon, American singer-songwriter and actress, pop singer. And another birthday that we have, Don, do you want to say this one?
No, you can say it.
1972.
No.
1970. I apologize. 1970, February 20th, 1970. Dave Hogan, our friend. Dave?
Yeah, yep, Chef Hogan.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a really good friend, and we might have some people listening who know him. And he's 52 today.
52 today, yeah.
And he's I think he deserves the spotlight. And happy birthday, Dave.
And we have one death on this day, 1966, Chester W. Nimitz, American admiral. He was portrayed in the movie Midway. I forget the name of the actor who played him. I'll say it next week. I'll remember it and I'll say it next week. But
oh yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was portrayed in the movie.
That wasn't John Voight, was it?
I don't know who it was. No, I don't think. No, it was not John Voight. I don't know who it was.
That was a great movie.
It was a good movie. Midway was a good movie. Yes, but Chester W. Nimitz, the famous American admiral, passed away on this date in 1966. Okay, that'll do it for today's program. Hope everyone enjoyed. We'll be back next week, February 27th, 2022, the final Sunday in the month of February. We'll be back next week. Have a great week, everybody. And a great President's Day.
Yeah, holiday tomorrow.
Yep, bye-bye.
Great show.
Yes. A little worried about Johnny getting political, but
yeah,
it's okay.
Whatever.
I was like, what's going on here?
I kind of smoothed that over.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you can't. What are you gonna do? You get a call? You gonna hang up on the guy?
No, I'm not gonna do that. But I don't want to get.
It's not a political show.
Anyway, bye-bye, everybody.